I'll apologize to everybody because I got a really bad cold. You can hear it in my voice, and if I hack up a lung while I'm talking, you'll understand why. I'll try not to do that, but we'll see what happens. On the line here as well as me is my partner, Joey Chow. She's on there somewhere. I can't see her, but you want to say hi, Joey? You want to? Hello, Joey?
Just hit spacebar to talk.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, hi.
Yep.
Just happy to be here. Greg, you need to share your screen.
I will. Thank you. That's what she's there for. All right. There we go. Can you see my screen? Anybody? No?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, hang on. Let me go back here. I don't know what happened there. Here. Why is that not opening? Uh-oh. So I said technologically challenged.
It's coming.
It's coming?
Yep. Wrong window, but you're sharing.
I am sharing. Okay. So let me get this out of the way. And go over here. Meeting is being recorded. Okay. And I want this picture. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, share. All right, there you go. All right. Everybody can see that fine. Good. All right, so why are you here tonight? Well, we have a business that has started from the ground up because of my golf career. So I'm going to just introduce Joey to you. And here we're going to explain how the growth came and how you can enhance your career as a golf coach / teacher by doing golf trips. And that's what we're really here for. And I'll show you how that works. And that's probably scared a few people away already, but we'll see. Here we go. All right. So beyond the lesson T, career growth through golf trips. Today you're going to discover how organizing golf trips can transform your coaching practice and deepen student relationships. So I'll show you through here people that we've taken on trips several times, and lots of new people as well. This thing is bugging me here. Okay. And I'll tell you where that picture that you just saw was in Portugal, by the way, and I'll point out where we were at the time. So my background really is from the natural gas industry as an instructor. I still am an instructor for natural gas technology and plants. So I go to individual plants around the country. I used to go all over North America until Trump came into power. But I stay home now, and I still do that now and again. My son is taking that business over shortly. From that led me to a golf career because I didn't know what to do in the wintertime. I would do the industrial training. In the summertime, no plants want you in their plant because they're all on vacation and nobody's there. So I became a golf pro. And that's how my professional career started. The picture you see there was taken in 2006. That was the first time I became a top 50 teacher of WGTF in 2006. And I've been on that list ever since. So that's where that was. And then from there, I founded the Academy, which I launched back in 96, I think it was, or 7. Anyway, a year after I started teaching. And from there, I've had 4,200 plus kids in my junior camps. I've had hundreds of adults. I don't know what the score is. I never kept track of that, but lots of them, many people on my list. So that's where my forte was. And from that, we founded Dragonfly Travel. And Dragonfly Travel was founded mainly because students kept asking me how it happened was that yes is a powerful word. So the power of saying yes, people were asking me, can you take us on a golf trip? And that's all it started from. Somebody said, hey, do you do golf trips? And they'd obviously taken a golf trip at some point in time. And I'm sure people here have had that question asked, and you've probably said no, or maybe somebody has. Can anybody chime in and say if they have taken people on golf trips? Anybody? Open your mic. No one has. Okay. So that explains a lot. So it didn't happen as a plan. It wasn't a business plan. It was just from students asking me, can I go on a golf trip with you? Can you take us on a golf trip? Where can we go? Where's the best place to go? Those kinds of questions. So it started with that question, and obviously the student's voice, where, here, where can we go? And I had students say, I'd love to go play golf somewhere amazing with my friends. And you, sorry, somebody interrupted. Okay, so that brought the seed. And when they said, can you take me to the Bahamas? That was an opening point for me. Multiple students asked, so we started doing that. From that, and how it helps my business is how coaching while traveling elevated my career, really. What it did was it enhanced the relationships that I had with the customers. We spend time together off the course, on the course, and I didn't have to spend time all the time with them. I would do my own thing. And if you look real close in here, you can see Mr. Horn right there in the middle. Do you see him? Right there? That's Davey Horn. So he knows what it's all about. He's been with me several times. Brand differentiation is what's really all about. I started doing something that no other golf pro was really doing on a regular basis. They would take people from private golf courses would take their clients, the members, to golf destinations and whatnot. But individual teachers like myself and you guys don't often do that. So I just kind of stood out from the crowd. This was in Jamaica. This is in the Bahamas. And then from there, we get some unforgettable journeys. This one was in South Africa. So you can see that you get to travel a lot of places. And how is it elevating my career? Well, I get increased retention from the customers, all ladies that come to my classes. They stay with me year after year. Some of them come back, some don't, but you know how it is in the business. And it reignited my passion for teaching in the last few years, because I love going where I'm going, all the places that I get to go. This was South Africa. This was in Cuba, just so you know, just to tell you that I've been tons of places. This one is in South Africa as well, with the same trip. And this was in the middle of the savannah with giraffe and hippopotamus and all kinds of stuff around us, elephants. So, and what does this mean? Well, let's talk about the doubts you might have about getting into this kind of situation. Safety concerns is one of them. What if something happens when you're overseas? People kind of get scared away from taking people on trips because things can happen while you're away. Well, guess what? You know that insurance that we have with the CGTF? There's an option there to take the option of teaching overseas. And I think it's $150 extra. And it covers you while you are out of the country, in any country for that matter, with our insurance company that we have. All right. Do you know that, Mark?
Nope.
No? Yeah. It's on there. I have it. I've had it since it started.
That's with Holman Insurance?
Holman Insurance, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal for anybody in Ontario. Outside of Ontario, I'm not sure it works the greatest, but
yeah, absolutely. Well, I haven't had to use it. Let's put it that way. Outside of Ontario, but I mean, it's there, and I know I have coverage of some sort. So, and you can buy other insurance as well if you're really concerned about it. Other guys say, well, I don't want you to be overwhelmed with the planning. You don't have to do a thing. We do it all for you. You don't even know where to start, maybe. So we would take care of that for you. Perception. Oops. What did I do? Sorry. Didn't mean to click off that. Perception worries. Will students think that you're trying to sell too much? Maybe, but you're not actually trying to sell. All you're doing is offering a service that, hey, if I went on a golf trip, would you want to come with me? If I put a golf trip together, would you want to go? Would your friends want to go? Can I help you plan one? Those sorts of questions. You're not actually selling, you're just asking questions. And then if they say yes, and you don't want to do anything with it, you bring it to us and we'll tell you how to do it and make it work for you. You need to keep it professional, of course, right? But still fun. And you have to be in the balance. get things done while you're there. And the solutions that worked for me. So when I first started doing this, I used a travel agent like myself now. And I would use that travel agent because I found out that TICO here is the Travel Insurance Corporation of Ontario, and it is the body that controls the travel industry. If you get caught selling a travel trip to anybody, even if you're taking people to Muskoka or Cobble Beach or wherever, and you are taking people on a trip, you are technically a travel agent. And if you do that and you sell them a trip and you take them with you and something happens, or TICO finds out, worse, TICO finds out, they can fine you up to $50,000 for being a travel agent without the correct certifications and registrations. So it cost me a lot of money to register as a travel agent and a travel agency. So I just want to be sure that you understand that. And by the way, it's $50,000 or a year in jail or both. So it's pretty serious stuff. And that's why they protect it. So I used a travel agent for many years. And then a bunch of years ago, just 4 years ago, actually, I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this myself. I don't need a travel agent. So that's how I started. So I encourage you to use a travel agent. Hopefully it's me that you choose and Joey. We set clear boundaries. I want you to set clear boundaries when you are doing a trip like this. You decide whether you're going to teach while you're there or not teach while you're there. You can be free. You can be just take the people on the trip, go play golf with them, go hang out at the bar, go for dinner once in a while. You don't have any set schedule to meet unless you decide that's the thing you want to do. So what I did many years, I would do a trip like this and I would say, listen, I'm going to do 3 clinics while I'm there. And I would do a clinic for 45 minutes before I actually teed off. So they'd meet me at the range or at the short game area, whatever it was we're doing that day. I'd do a little clinic for 45 minutes. Everybody warmed up and then off to the first tee. And then I would sporadically go through the course and play a few holes with each group. Or I might say, if there's 4 groups and we're there for 4 days, I would play with one group one day and the next group the next day, and so on, play the full 18 holes with them. That's a teaching situation where you would charge for your time. You would put it into the mix of the trip, and you would charge extra for that if you wanted to. Or you just say, hey, I get to go do a trip and I'll do this for my customers. And if you want to keep them, that's a smart thing to do. And then communication is key. Just clear, precise communication. It doesn't have to be salesy. Very, very quickly. Hey, are you interested in a trip? I'm doing a trip to Dominican Republic. Somebody on here is in Dominican Republic, Kevin. I'm going there in January. Would you like to go? Are you interested in that? And then you'll find out. We can do a small group. I would suggest you start in the small group. It doesn't have to be many, 4, 5, 6, 8, maybe. It doesn't have to be 20 or 30 people. And then the real stories that leave real impact. So from South Africa to the Caribbean to Europe, these trips created breakthroughs for me, bonding with my clients and growth. Emotional moments and watching students succeed in their new environment was quite challenging. So when you go to different countries like this, I'm not sure how many have traveled south or west or east, but the grasses are different. The club reacts differently in the grasses. The ball reacts differently in the grasses. The greens have grain. We don't have grain here in Canada. So the balls don't take off going to the left when it looks like it's going uphill. It happens. So you have to learn that, and then you have to teach the clients, hey, this is why it's doing it, because the grain's going in a certain direction, or whatever the case is. So this one here is in South Africa with the giraffe, obviously. This one is in Cobble Beach, or just here on Georgian Bay. This again is in South Africa. This one is in Portugal, where I just came back from just a couple of months ago. And when we do that, we do it all first class. We travel in Mercedes-Benz vans and buses most of the time. And all transfers are private. So we take people privately we don't use a bus route or anything like that, or shuttles. We take them on a private. Here are the buses. Your transport's going to be here at 8 o'clock, be here at 8 o'clock. And that's how we do it. So your students want more? Will it be from you? Here's what the traditional coach does. He does weekly lessons. range practice time with the students or just practice, watches them practice, observed practice, simulator lessons, swing analysis, occasional playing lessons, and limited relationship in depth. So what we do as a coach, we do all of these above things, and then we share adventures with them. We have a deeper student loyalty, memorable experiences. They talk about it for a long time afterwards. Market differentiation. We do something different. So put everything you deliver in action at destination. So you can do all of this when you're here in the location, right? This is simulator in Markham, and this is Bahamas again. So just to give you an idea of what the things that we do, you want to differentiate yourself from the others in the marketplace. There's a bunch of golf pros. This is Cabot St. Lucia. Played there last year. Probably the best golf course I've ever played. Just immaculate. You can't even get in there, by the way. Very, very private. Anyway, 3 ways to make golf travel work for you. You can do an escorted group with teaching elements in like I just described. You can host clinics. You can do the on-course strategy sessions. You can add value however you see fit. Student engagement trip, no teaching required. You just go with them. You go play as a friend. You play on the golf course. You don't have to teach them. It's up to you if you give them tips or not. And you don't have to have dinner with them every night. You just go about your own business. Especially the resorts in the Caribbean where they're all inclusive, many restaurants in each resort. So you don't have to go to the same restaurant. If you're there, you want to be with people, then go hang out with them. There's no designated dinner settings. What I do when I go on an escorted trip like this or this, I'll say, listen, we're going to meet for a cocktail party on the first night we arrive. And I'll arrange that with the hotel. We go and we meet, we have a cocktail. Not everybody knows everybody on the trip, so we get to know each other and who you're going to be playing with, kind of thing. And then on the last night, or the night before the last night, second last night, we have a dinner. And then everybody gets together and has a dinner. And then everybody's camaraderie, we talk about it. You see people on the beach the whole week you're there. It's a lot of fun, right? The other option is you just give us a referral. So if you give us a referral to you have a group or a group of people that want to go on a trip, you don't have to do any of these 2 things. You just take, hey, Greg, I've got this guy. He wants to go and take 8 people on a trip somewhere. Can you help him out? Yes, we will. And we will compensate you for that. And I'll get to that in a second. All right. So in a second is here. Introducing the Dragonfly affiliate program. So the affiliate program is 3 ways we can do it with the Golf Pro escorted trips. We handle all the logistics. You bring the energy. The student engagement trip, where we just build stronger connections with the clients and sharing time on the golf course or at the resort, whatever you want to do. And or the affiliate program, referral program, where you just give us a referral and we'll commission you. So you get commission for all of these things. If you go on a trip, we'll pay you. If you go on a trip and you work, that's fine. You do whatever you want with that. You can charge them, not charge them. That's up to you. For the engagement part on these trips, you go to the trip and you enjoy yourself. We pay you a commission for that. And if you're just going to refer us, obviously we're going to give you a less commission than if you're going on these. But it's there. And we're just working out the details for that right now. So as teachers, we'll come back to the affiliate program in a second, but as teachers, teachers need to grow as well. Growth comes with discomfort. You might feel uneasy at first, but that's exactly where transformation happens. As you know, if you're trying to make somebody make a change in their golf swing, they say, oh my God, that feels terrible. I'm unused to this or unused to that. It doesn't feel right. Well, that's why you're going to feel the first time you do a trip. You're going to feel uneasy about it. Well, that's why we're here to help you do that. So we'll help you get over it. Elevate your students. And here's the best part. You're going to elevate your students' interest in the game. They're going to want to go play and come back for more lessons because the next time they go to Jamaica, they want to play well. Differentiate yourself from others in the business. So there are not too many teachers that do what I do. So you need to, if you want to be part of this, you are going to differentiate yourself from everybody else on the lesson tee, right? and take your passion for teaching to the next level so you can enjoy the benefits of travel. The takeaways from this: listen to your students. I'm sure you've had somebody say something about going on a golf trip somewhere, and that should spark interest where you should ask a question. Start small. 4, 5, 6 people, 8 people. That's small. Do something small that you can control. Partner with us for success. Expert support removes any logistical barriers that you might have. We take care of everything. Focus on experience. It's about value, creating value, not making sales. And differentiate your teaching business from the others on the lesson tee. If you're interested in learning more, no pressure. There's no commitment here or anything like that. We'll give you a personal follow-up, and we'll answer any questions you have and insights on how we do it. And the simple next step is, if you scan this barcode, it'll bring you to a form which will identify the affiliate program and that you're interested in it. So everybody can scan that with their phone, and you can contact me, and I'll contact you after I see the form come in, and we'll just talk. And there's no commitment on that form. That's just to let me know that you are interested, you have some questions or whatever. All right. So I'll open the floor up for questions, and you guys can shoot at me as much as you want.
Well, that's awesome, Greg. Hope we get some questions here coming through.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah, Greg, I got a question. Can you give us an example of party you've taken to the location, approximately the price and the cost?
Sure. I've got 6 people going to Portugal in May right now. That's the one that comes to mind right away. And they are about, Joey, help me with this. It's about 5,000, is it not? Joey? Hello, Joey.
Yeah, let me unmute. Okay, so good question. We are sending a group of 6 golfers to Portugal in May, and they are all from a private golf club. They are having a 2 weeks vacation. So approximately, they will be playing 8 rounds of golf, 11 nights of accommodation. So that is about 5,500 Canadian dollars without the airfare. The reason why we don't include the airfare into the package is because different golfers may have different preference, or they have points to redeem for their tickets. If they want us to book the tickets for them, we can do it separately. But to quote for a group, we would just take the airfare portion away so that everybody knows, like, just for the hotel, for the golf. And for this particular group, they do have some personalized itinerary request. So we put them into one Michelin star dining experience, 1 day of boat trip, and also a road trip day tour to another city in Spain. So, but usually, golf trip is within 1 week duration. And Greg just mentioned that there are different type of destination, I would say, in terms of the level of difficulties. For starter, I would say sending your group to an all-inclusive resort would be the easiest for you, because you want to play golf with them, you play with them. And other times, restaurants, there are usually more than 10 restaurants in a resort. So you don't have to worry about where should we go eat. They also like to have some personal time. They may also take their family members, and the kids would have other activities to do. So I would say this is the easiest version to put together a golf trip. But for other travelers, let's say more experienced, they want to explore Europe. So Europe usually is more appealing to couples. Ladies got to shop. They have some other local travel experience. So again, everything depends on, as Greg said, listen to your customer. and what they want. Are they golfer beginners? I'm a beginner. I'm happy to go to any destination to golf, but some of them, like if they have been to a lot of destinations, so just ask the questions, and then we will work with you. So, Greg, do you also want to give an idea of like some Caribbean trip that you've delivered?
Yeah. Okay, I'll take over. All right. So yeah. So answer your question. Who asked that question, by the way?
So it's me, Vito.
Vito. Vito.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Yeah. So I mean, we've done lots of trips to the Caribbean. Right now, we could do anywhere from $2,700 to $3,700 for an all-inclusive 5-star resort for a week. Normally in Dominican Republic, I don't know if you know or not, but most of them, there's no golf included with most of the resorts. Majestic has one, and the Ipish has one.
Casa de Campo has one.
Campo has, yes, on site, yeah. But they don't include the golf. You pay extra for the golf. Sometimes they include 4 rounds of golf. I just got a quote, actually. We'll talk about that on the weekend because I have a special price from Casa de Campo for between now and I believe it's October, or 4 rounds of golf, not including the teeth of the dog. They want $299 US for the teeth of the dog, if you're there for a 5-day trip or more, and it's not included. So yeah, that gives you an idea of numbers. Anything else you'd like to know, Vito?
No. I'm just wondering if you do have, let's say, a package, a different size package, different locations already set up. Let's say I have 8 players that want to go somewhere. Where do they have an option? Do you have something that's already set? Say, okay, in Cuba, it's this price for this many days. In Dominican, is this? Do you have anything like that?
We work them out.
You tailor-made.
We don't have them tailor-made sitting on a shelf because there's just too many dates. The prices change week to week, and the flights and all that sort of stuff. It's all a big schmozzle most of the time. So if you say to me, hey, Greg, I want to go March 15th to the 27th, I can look that up and say, okay, the resorts at Punta Cana, I can give you these 4. Cuba, I can give you the only one that I would send you to is Malia Las Americas. And I just sent somebody there for Christmas, New Year's. And they played as much. It's all golf, all included, as you know. I think you've been there, Vito.
Yes, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. So you know how that works, and that one's reasonable. It's like $2,500 or something like that per person. So yeah, including the flight. I can do that for you anytime. It's just you just tell me when and how many, and I will figure it out for you. Rather than having it sitting on the shelf, I can just give you a range right now. That's all I can say.
Right. Okay, that's good. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Anybody else? Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Joe.
I already thought about this idea to bring people, and I start all the process through a travel agency.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, like you said, when you want to do it and how many people.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem was to find out exactly how many people on the flight and at the hotel and the golf reservation. And that was kind of problem sometimes because you want to do some advertise about this project, but let's say I plan to do one in 1 month, but I cannot book the air flight now, because if you book, you have to pay for it, you know.
Yep.
So how did you handle this kind of problem? How do you fix a date and a number of people? Let's say you start low, like you said, small, like 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
March 1st to March 8th. So 1 week, this resort. But how we could guarantee our customer that we're gonna have this date and the reservation for this package?
Well, Jill, I would give you, if you give me a date and the number of people, I can come back to you with a firm price for that date, but it has to be signed by X date. So if you said to me March 1st, it's almost March 1st now. So that's very quick. They would owe all the money right away. There'd be no deposit required. It would be full amount due, and I would give you the price tomorrow, and it would have to be signed by the end of the week next week, because they'll only hold the price for so long, and that's how the airlines work. So you
How
tell
long
me.
they hold the price for?
It depends on the situation you go, but sometimes it's 21 days. If it's a group, they'll hold it for 21 days. If otherwise, they'll just hold it for 8 or 9 days, not very long.
Okay.
Yeah. So they only guarantee it for a certain period of time, and then they say, okay, we can't hold that anymore unless you renew it. And if you renew it, then often they'll give you a different price, a new price.
So the deal with the company is you go for free, or you have to pay for something, your flight or something?
There are some places when we go to Europe, if we go to Portugal, Spain, Ireland, Scotland, anywhere like that, we can actually, the seventh, if you get 7 people, the 8th person goes free. That's the way it works. Yes. We can discuss all that when you send in the form, and if you want interested in what's going on. Yes, there are certain places to do that. The Caribbean's a little different. Some places need 10 rooms, so 20 people. Before they get a free seat most of the time. Sandals, a little different. Sandals, I can do 10 people, which is 5 rooms, and get a free room. So yeah, you have to just, have to pick and choose where it is you want to go to get that sort of thing.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Yeah, go ahead, Derek. Oh, where'd he go?
Eric?
He must have accidentally hung himself up. I saw him put his hand
See
up.
you on the weekend.
Hey, Greg, I'll go while we're waiting. It's Jeff.
I'll see you on the weekend.
Oh, for sure. Okay, excellent. I'll be there.
When are most of your trips? Are they off season, or are they? When do you do most of your traveling with your groups?
Oh, when I do the traveling with the groups, usually it's in the fall. I try to get through the golf season and then go on trips in the fall and some of the winter times. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Eric's trying to get in.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, now.
Yes.
There's a question from Eric.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm on the phone, so hopefully that works fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were talking about. So I guess you already have a preset list of destinations, or do you plan those like way ahead, or?
No, we don't plan trips like what Jill just asked. Do you have a set trip for a certain date? We haven't got that sort of thing just right now, because it's very difficult to say we've got a price for X date, and when the closer it gets to that X date, the price changes. So it's very difficult to do that. If I'm putting a price up and they'll hold it for me for 30 days, I might put that up. But I can get a price, like on a moment's notice, I can get a price. So depends on where it is. And I shouldn't say that. If they're going to Portugal, it takes me a few days before I get an answer back. That's what the price might be for people. Right?
Eric, let me also give you some idea. I think your question was like, how long is the lead time? So my recommendation is you start the conversation.
Yeah, part of the question.
Yeah, you start the conversation, probably, I would say 9 months, because you need to talk about it. You need to gather a group, or let me ask my friend, or let me get my approval from my wife. So that will take some time until you get a group of like 8 guys to say yes. Then you need some lead time and talk about the destination, work with us. We send you some proposals, and then we also help with you on the communication plan, because I know that doing the communication marketing is not your forte. So we will have some templates. We do the flyers so that you send through your network and see, or even create like some online questionnaire and see who are interested. An ideal case, I would say, to lock in a better price, dates, and better tea time particularly at some very renowned golf courses, a minimum of 6 months would be ideal. The longer, the better. That's why every single time you finish one trip, then you are talking about the next one. And once you get into a rhythm and cadence that, I'm waiting for my golf coach to launch the trip for next year, then they know that you are doing this, and they will share that with their friends. So also back to one of the question is like, I sell the trip, but I don't know if I have the air tickets. That's why have to start early. Once you get into like your second year, they know that you are doing this, you will have higher confidence to lock in 10 seats with the airlines and lock in 10 seats. And then you start talking about that. And then you provide the names to the airlines out to us later. That's how it works. So I hope that I answer your questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little
Yeah, no,
note on
that's
that.
good. Thank you.
Note on that locking in the seats. If we're going to lock in seats on an airline, we have to pay a deposit to hold those seats. So we will talk about that if that occurs. But definitely, yes, that's a
All
thing.
right.
Yeah.
And I have another question regarding the coaching, because
Yes.
you said you could be a golf pro escorted on the trip. You said something about, you're going to host some clinics. So is that something that we discuss beforehand, or we kind of propose what we want to do over there? Like in 3 weeks, I'm going to Cuba. I'm going to be working a few hours over there with at Varadero. But if I want to do clinics outside of those hours, they let me do it. So is this how it works with you guys?
Yes, exactly. So with Veradero, you're going to work with Ray. I've done that pro trip. You're doing the pro trip?
Ray and Lewis.
Yeah. I've done that trip, I think 9 times. But anyway, say hi to Ray when you get down there for me. But yes, that's a little different with Veradero because you're a one-man show, and they let you do the clinic if you want to do a clinic with. You're going to work for him anyway. But if you're taking a group of people there, you have to arrange that with him, right? To say, hey, I'm bringing 10 people. I need to use a range. I need buckets of balls. I need the practice green, whatever the case is. Yes. And by the way, if you're buying a trip through us and you want to do a clinic like that, let's say you want to go to the Bahamas or South Africa, wherever you want to go, I will make arrangements with the golf course for you so that you can use the range to do a clinic and use the short game area, and that the pros will not give you a hard time because I've arranged it for you. So it'll be all taken care of before you get there. Yes.
All right. That's great. Thank you, Greg.
Right. You're welcome. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have a quick question, Greg. What about a cancellation policy? People get sick, that kind of thing. Is that something you folks would deal with right off the bat, or would that be the onus on the individual?
Yeah, so the onus becomes on the individual because we recommend that you buy cancellation insurance. If there's a chance that you might cancel, if you're canceling because of the weather or because you got sick or something like that, you should have cancellation insurance in place. And we sell that kind of cancellation insurance as well with the trip. So we'll offer that to you. It's a requirement from TICO, actually, that you have to offer the cancellation insurance and health insurance. Some countries, like Cuba, you have to have health insurance before you go into the country. Because if they ask you at the customs in Cuba, let's see what insurance you have, and you don't have it produced, they put you back on the plane. So they do.
Okay, so it's a one-stop. You guys do all that. Okay.
We do all that. Yeah, we take care of all of that as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else? Thanks, Bob.
Awesome, Greg. Well done.
Thank you.
We'll definitely share some contact information in the next newsletter coming out.
Sure.
And we'll hopefully get some interest and even some conversations going at the golf show.
Sure. All right. Did everybody scan that barcode I showed you? I hope so. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Got thumbs up. Everybody's happy. Now I'm just trying to remove the spotlight from you. Oh, there you are. Is everybody still seeing Greg? It's hard to.
I see you, Mark.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see Kevin. So we're in business now. Now it's going to be Anil's turn. Anil's joining us from his car. So we're going to make this work the best we can. Anil, are you there? He was there. Yeah, there he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Mark?
we sure can.
Yep. Yeah, so I would like you to get those two videos going, and I'll take the Q&As after that. That will bring them up to speed to understand what we are talking about.
Okay. Share. Just give me a second.
Yep.
I'm getting the videos up here that I had trouble with a minute ago. There we go. Good.
Yeah, that's what.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yep.
You are in the swing and what you want to do in that swing and that comparison, cerebellum shuts down. You understand that? I'll say it again. You're over the ball. You're going to pull the trigger. Because you have a low level of acceptability, the PFC goes online and wants to help you out. Not really. It's not your friend. What it does is compares where you are in the swing versus what you want to do. In that comparison, the cerebellum shuts down. You got that? The second unfortunate thing here happens to you. You're behind the ball. When you're behind the ball, you are visualizing the shot. Immediately, you input the processes necessary to execute the shot. You have to program the computer. You have to program the computer once. Most people program 10 or 15 times. This is even before they get to the ball. And then you have a low level of acceptability. So you input all the processes, but you have a low level of acceptability, and the PFC is saying, no problem, Anil. I'm going to come and help you out. No, not really. So you get over the ball, low level of acceptability, you pull the trigger. In the transition, the PFC goes online, inputs another set of processes because you have such a low level of acceptability. This set of processes competes with this set of processes. In that competition, the cerebellum shuts down or compromised. You know that feeling. But if you do something completely counterintuitive and very neurophysiologically sound, before you take one step into the shot, you have 10 levels of acceptability, meaning you have accepted the result of the shot. Already before you take one step in, it goes left, right, long, short, whatever. When you do that, what happens is that when you pull the trigger, the PFC has nothing to chew on to because you have already accepted the shot or the result of the shot. You see, this is the second ball syndrome. Very low level of acceptability on the first shot. You drop another ball and you just flush it. You stick it 3 feet. If you want to live in that world where the second shot does, you must do it in the first shot. You understand what I mean?
Okay, Mark. And we have the second one too.
Put an alignment stick 5 feet behind the ball you are going to hit. Stand in the back of the alignment stick as if you were setting up for a shot. When you are in this position on the course and you are determining what shot you want to hit, you take into consideration all the elements of the shot: lie, wind, shot selection, where you are in the round, so on. When you do this, you immediately create an algorithm. This algorithm contains all elements of the shot in one formula. An algorithm is created on every shot. Let's call the space behind the alignment stick Universe 1. Once you have created the algorithm, you move forward to hit the ball. Let's call the space when you cross the alignment stick Universe 2. What usually happens to most golfers is they create an algorithm in Universe 1 and then they remind themselves of what they created in detail in Universe 2, and usually many times. Not good. There is one goal in Universe 1: create the algorithm. Take your time. No one has a gun to your head. Take into consideration all the elements of the shot. Once you have done this and you have stepped over to Universe 2, you have one goal, and it is to create wholeness before you initiate the swing. Are you going to forget the algorithm in 3 or 4 seconds it takes to make the long journey from Universe 1 to Universe 2? Are you going to forget which way the wind is blowing, or how do you want to shape the shot, or what kind of lie you have? Doubtful. Then why are you reminding yourself of what you already know and it's almost impossible to forget? The reason why is that in your understanding of execution, attention equates execution, meaning that if you put more attention on some aspects of the algorithm, flighting the ball a particular way or getting the club in a certain position, then you have a better chance of accomplishing the goal. Not so fast. Remember, the brain physiology loves wholeness, and it's weakened when a part overshadows the whole, any part. So if your attention is flighting the ball a certain way and the majority of your focus is on that, to the extent that it breaks wholeness before you pull the trigger, then you are living in that random luck city you don't want to live in, Las Vegas. There are 2 facts that every golfer should know, and these 2 facts unfortunately are not widely known. The first is the muscle memory does not break down. The second is that brain physiology loves wholeness. Not being fully cognizant of these facts is the reason why golfers remind themselves over and over again of what they created in Universe 1 when they step over to Universe 2. They think they have to reinvent the wheel, and they don't. They think they have to start from scratch on every shot. And they don't. Once the money is in the bank, it's always in the bank. But they don't know that. So what do they resort in Universe 2? The checklist. And it is usually a long one. The brain physiology loves wholeness, and the muscle memory does not break down. If that is the case, then what should be the only goal you have in Universe 2? Create wholeness. That's it. But what do most golfers do in Universe 2? They systematically see how successfully they can break wholeness. What is their goal in Universe 2? It's almost their mission. Why should anyone be surprised that many golfers do not improve over time? There is one goal in Universe 1, create the algorithm. There is one goal in Universe 2, create the wholeness. In this set of fluid cues, you have 4 ways you can create wholeness in the Universe 2. There are the 4 settings of the fluid cues that I will be teaching on this program.
Okay. How's your score in today? Yes. Hey, Mark. All right, so I'm here. I can't hear you, Mark. Okay, anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so the idea is to kind of, if anybody, if anybody has not done even a little bit of mental game, the idea is to kind of make our instructors understand it's not always the swing mechanics that is in the way that a new golfer, a beginner, is kind of, struggling to make good contact with the ball. We have to make the beginner golfers, intermediate, understand how to put the swing together mentally before you go on top of the ball. That is something that after I did this certification in 24, it became so much easy. It's it's not the swing mechanics. It's about 50% of the swing mechanics, and there is the 50% to tell them this is how you put the swing together on the universe one, and then when you go on top of the ball, you must not think about the swing mechanics. That's something like that. That if there are any questions from anybody.
Any questions, anybody?
Yes.
No.
So
Go ahead.
no, that's very the mental part of it. I guess is we're coaching as we're teaching. Really, it's hard for us to teach our students the mental part of the game because we're more focused on the fundamentals of the game. So what you're saying is if they can't execute the fundamentals of the game, how do we get them not to think about it and just swing?
Exactly. That's the whole purpose. You got it. You nailed it. So what happens here? I mean, I did that today with 11-year-old. I mean, I do that with 11-year-olds. What happens is that when there is a new swing taught, and now say you got the student on the lesson tee, now you're telling you, okay, the takeaway, keep the club head in front. This is the backswing. This is where you have to be. And, the body sequencing. Now, you may have about maybe 5, 6, 7 things that you basically just told the student what to do. Now, that student, on top of that, is thinking, the student is trying to prioritize which one is first, which one is second, which one I have to think. Everything gets into his brain. And when you do that, you're thinking from the PFC, which is the prefrontal cortex of the brain. So you don't want your student to think like that. So what you do is, I'm really going to talk to you at the show. Okay. So what it is you have to bring the student behind the ball, say if you put an alignment stick like 5 feet behind the ball, and now you're not on the ball, you bring the student 5 feet away from the ball. And you tell the student, what do you have to do? Okay, grip, the takeaway. I mean, the stance, the distance between your feet, the weight distribution. You get everything right. So you get the student to think in the universe one. And we use certain fluid cues so that when you cross the line to go on top of the ball, you're not thinking about what you thought 2 seconds ago. You are blocking your brain, and it is amazing. Your cerebellum and your basal ganglia is capable of remembering everything you thought for you to execute the shot. The problem is that you go on top of the ball and you are thinking from your PFC, you're trying to put together, no. That's when everything goes wrong. So after getting my certification in 24, and then I worked in New York last year, 7 months, and it is just amazing. It just changed my teaching. So I just want to carry that message to our CGTF professionals, in many different ways. I mean, this is something that I told Mark. I really want to tell people, you don't have to struggle on top of the ball. Bring the student out, tell him what you have to do, put everything together. Now, when you go on top of the ball, do not think about swing mechanics. It is in your cerebellum. So this is exactly what you said was correct.
There's a drill that I use to take the thinking behind the swing with my students. Is what I do is I line up about 10 balls about a foot apart, and I just get them to focus on hitting the ball, not looking where the ball ends, where it goes. I stand behind the ball and I tell them if the ball was low, if it was high, if it was left, if it was right. And it really helps them to swing. By the time they get to the 7th, 8th, and 9th ball, they're hitting pretty solid shots without looking. Because I find that psychologically, when they're looking at the shot and they look at the finish, if it's not good, they get disappointed. They're trying to fix it rather than just focusing on the mechanics of executing, making the shot.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So what you're doing is right. So if you got 10 balls there, the first ball, I mean, he's thinking from the PFC, and he's the big muscles, the big muscles start working. So as you said, when you come to the 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th ball, now he has settled down already because he's got into it. So that's exactly what we do now. For advanced and elite students, there are full a course that we do for 2 hours, that I do for 2 hours, and there's another one do for 2 days. Okay, that is just, there are 4 sets of fluid cues. Work with them, get the routine, and that's basically to produce a fluid motion on your swing so that you don't have jerks. Okay, that's the whole thing.
Excellent. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anil, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Is this Steve Yellen's work?
Yeah.
Stephen Yellen, the book Simplicity?
Exactly.
It's a great little read, everybody.
Yeah.
And Anil's sort of given you the Cole's notes and versions of it. But brain physiology is kind of where it's at these days as far as we know what we know as far as teaching the mechanics of the swing. This is the dirty little secrets that really get people to play better, to practice better, in its understanding how people's brains work so they can play or be the best that they can be. So I think Mark's going to let me do a presentation coming up in the next month or so, and I'm going to kind of follow up with what Anil has done, sticking with the sort of sciencey stuff that probably bores people to tears in here, but it is kind of the root of the evil that we all need to understand to become better golf teachers and communicators. It's not just, grip, stance, posture, ball position, alignment stuff. This is
exactly.
much
Exactly. Jeff, that's exactly what it is. I mean, so much mechanics, but you have to teach your student how do you put these mechanics together,
right.
and create that fluid motion. So simplicity. I have the book, everything, but I am actually outside. I just finished some lessons and I'm heading home, so my timing was off. You have the book anyway. There you go.
All good. Yep. Thank you for that, Anil. Well done. It gets a bit messy in there when you're trying to learn it, but like I said, it is a small little book. It doesn't have any pictures, but it's a pretty easy read.
Jeff, it took 6 months for me. I was doing presentations. I have to do it. It took 6 months for me to get my certification. Okay. So with Stephen. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Cool.
The name of the book is just Simplicity.
Simplicity. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon, and it will help you. So much.
Author is Stephen Yellin, Yellin.
Reminds me of a story.
A yellin? You were yelling at somebody?
No, no. Well, when you talk about like Vito's drill of hitting ball after ball after ball, and
Yeah.
then finally just getting in the zone of making a good shot. Back in about, I think it was around 98, there was a common fundraiser where you played as many holes as you could in a day for cancer research. Or cancer fundraiser of some sort. So anyways, my buddies and I played 10 rounds, 180 holes. And we played through some groups maybe 3 or 4 times in a day, like, because we were playing so fast, eh? But anyways, what happened was we never kept, we never added our scorecards up until we were done. And I had 3 scorecards in the middle of the day where we were just playing over and over and over again that were in the 60s. And at that time, you know, for me to shoot in the 60s at our golf course was pretty unheard of. And just by not focusing on what we're just hitting the golf ball, getting on the green, getting the ball in the hole, going to the next tee, doing it again, going to the next tee, the next tee. You kind of got out of your way, and you know, everything was about just getting to the next hole, the next shot, and kind of like Vito's drill of hitting the first 5 shots, thinking about everything. By the 6, 7, 8, 9, it's Mr. Smooth's in the building.
Yep. That's the idea. That's the idea. So there's exactly what Jeff said was, you know, there are so many those fluid cues that if you want to forget, you have to use those cues when you're on top of the ball so that you will not think about swing mechanics. That's very effective, very effective.
Any questions? With the 2 great master instructor presentations tonight, and I'm sure that everybody's had a long day of shoveling snow if they're in Ontario, and if they're not, be thanking God that you're not in Ontario because it's been awful. But any questions? No, we're good. Well, Anil, thanks so much for making time for us and sharing with us. And as Jeff mentioned, he's actually set for March 16th, I think. Jeff, going to do part 2, and Eric's going to do Skillist on February the 16th, I believe. Going to do a little presentation on that, and Gilles has a question before we cut out.
Sorry.
No, all good, Gilles.
All right.
Hey, Joe.
Anil, you were talking about creating a wholeness. Can you talk about a little bit about this?
Repeat.
Creating a wholeness after
yeah,
all
okay.
the analysis.
Yeah. So, okay, very good. So what it is, see, you want your student to, say, for example, to hit a fade. All right. So now you get all the components that you need to hit a fade shot. So you talk to the student, okay, open stance, this is where it is, the ball position. You go very crystal clear, give instructions, right? Now, after you do that, okay, so you will get the student to hit a few shots, maybe 3, 4, 5 shots, and see how he feels it. Now you bring the student back behind the lesson tee, and you go over the student, okay, this is your grip, open stance. This is where the club is and coming out to in, the whole thing, instructions. And you remind your student. And what you do is you tell, now, when you cross the line from here to go to the lesson tee, you are not thinking about that. We have some fluid cues called Like, for example, I'll give you one, like 987. These are the three numbers. I will definitely, I will at the show, I will do something and show you what it is. I will get the student, stop thinking now about the swing mechanics. Now, when you go on top of the ball, you're thinking 987, 987, 987. Now, so now the golfer will not think about the swing and just hit the ball. So what happens is that your cerebellum and your basal ganglia together puts the swing together. That's the magic that we don't know. Most golfers don't know. They go on top of the ball and they remind themselves again and again where the club has to be, where the feet has to be. So that's not a good thing. So you know that. So most golfers go on top of the ball, and when they take the club out, they are thinking, okay, is this Anil's swing, or is this Mark's swing, or is this the swing that... So to eliminate all that, you introduce fluid cues. So that's what it is.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Definitely don't teach them my swing, Anil. They'll have sore backs too. All right, any final questions? I guess not. All right, everyone. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks for the support. We had 26 people on there tonight, and that was pretty good. Thanks,
See you on the
Anil.
weekend.
Okay,
Thanks, Greg.
Nice weekend.
care, guys. Happy shoveling.
Hey, Mark, what time does the golf show start on Friday?
Noon.
Noon. Okay.
Noon. I'll maybe include that in an email. I sent
that would be
everything
good.
else out to everybody, but the people that are
I'll
coming.
be right there. Right.
But noon, noon on Friday. I think 10 on Saturday and Sunday.
Right. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Be safe.
Thank you.
You.
Right. Take
See you
care.
on
Thanks for
Saturday.
everybody's
Thanks.
participation.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks, Jeff,
All right.
making the
Pleasure.
time.
Thanks, Greg. Well
Thank
done.
you. All right. Thank you.
Cheers.
Talk soon.